Hello and welcome to this Out of Lives podcast for the Sony event. Joining me, your host Scott Sedman, is Johan,
Hello.
Adam Thompson,
Hello.
and Jason Derulo.
What? Great start, Scott. Great
Thank
start.
you, thank you. I wasn't ready for it to go live, to be honest.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so we're going to do the Sony event. Anyone think it was any good?
It
Yes.
was pretty damn good.
I don't know if it was a Microsoft beta, but yeah, I
That's a
enjoyed
topic
it,
for another time.
definitely. But they started off with The Last Guardian. I don't know if anyone expected that to come out after the amount of times it's been, put on the back burner.
I was shocked to see it. Honestly, I thought it was just like if it didn't come out this year, it was definitely gone. But like to start with it, so
I know. I thought it would be at the end of the show if they were going to do it at all, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
mm,
I was a little bit disappointed because I did the press conference in the morning, and then without thinking, just like automatically I went to IGN, and then it was like
Oh.
the first story. So I was pretty glad that it was the first thing.
fair.
But
Honestly, look, like, as much as I'm excited that they did Last Guardian, like I'm glad. I'm excited for people who were excited for Last Guardian. Although I thought the gameplay just looked boring. Like that's just me.
Yeah.
Like it looks beautiful. I'm glad people are gonna get to play it, but it wasn't interesting to me. It looked
I
cool.
actually thought.
The cat dog thing looked like if that thing dies, oh my god, so many people are gonna cry.
Well, firstly, it's definitely going to die. As soon as I saw it, I thought that's dying.
That's dead.
Yeah, that's going to be dead. But
That's cynical.
did anyone not think the visuals looked a bit dated? Or was that just me?
yeah,
I mean, it
thought
might
was
have been
because of
my
the stream.
feed.
Yeah, I thought it was because of the stream.
I'm not sure, but I mean, like the scene when he's like pushing down the log to like help him, it totally looked like he was like pushing it to like get him down, to like kill
Yeah, I
him.
thought he was just gonna roll and kill the fucking.
It's like,
oh my god,
is this happening?
that
that
little kid's actually just a psychopath. Just gonna fucking kill the dog. Blind dog.
The thing that annoyed me about it was after all of that time, since it was first announced, and they still haven't really explained what the game is about. It's just a wee
Yeah.
guy shouting and a gigantic cat dog. You know, like, well, could
If
have
it
done with a
hadn't-
bit more explanation than that.
If it hadn't taken this long to come, be announced, would anyone actually care? If that was the first time you'd seen it, I don't know if I would.
I might actually say that they should have announced it next year.
Yeah.
I know because
Yeah,
then they could have
it's
sent,
gonna-
then they could have
it's out
launched
now.
it. Yeah, because everyone already know it's a thing, and I mean they didn't really show anything new really. I mean you saw the bird thing, and you jumped around on like the bridges or whatever.
I'm sure it's going to be a good game, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, it'll be
When it
enjoyable.
comes out in 4 years' time on the PlayStation 5.
All I want is a documentary, about it.
That's it.
Why they couldn't get it out.
Celeste of the Last Guardian.
And then we had Guerrilla Games come on with, was it Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yes.
Dawn.
Oh
Yes.
my god. This is the
Oh.
game I
Zero
personally.
Dawn. That makes more sense than Down.
Mecha dinosaurs.
So fucking hype. I
That was-
posted in the IGN UK podcast Facebook group. Subtle. I know. Thank you. Just that I need to buy a PS4 now. Hashtag Robot Dinosaurs. Simply because this game, it looks beautiful. I think it's from Guerrilla
Now I
Games.
understand what that post's about. Now that I've actually watched the conference.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I,
just-
didn't
I
know
remember
what you
seeing
were
that
on
and going, what does robot dinosaurs have to do with PS4? Right.
Now
That makes
you-
so much more sense to me now.
To be fair, I think the more robot animals looking back on it, because there was definitely like robot giraffes in there. But I
Yeah.
don't care, I'm still calling them robot dinosaurs. It's a robot dinosaur. It looked cool. There was a little raptor thing which she killed and then she felt sorry about, even though I don't understand that. Like, do they have emotions or does she just. What? Why do you feel sorry about killing something that is just out to kill you? Like, what? You're not Lara Croft. Go away. As Lee kept commenting.
Is this a hunting type game? It looks like a sort of a monster hunter
Yeah.
type. That's what I got from it.
I
But-
assume it's going to be like, sorry, Johan, Tomb Raider, like the first part of Tomb Raider, where she's just really in this massive world and just trying to survive. But expanded and with robot dinosaurs.
If I like understood the story correctly, it's a dystopian future, like stone human bow and arrow thing. So like they're like our humanity like fucked up, and so for some reason they are like mechanical animals everywhere. And I think that story is really interesting actually. And I hope I'm like that's not often you like really wanna figure out the story of a game.
I really hope it starts with humanity has really fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the quote. Just
Yeah.
humanity has fucked up.
The year 3006, humanity really fucked up.
I really like the way I want the narrative to unfold is like you go through these ruins and then you find like an old video, like our modern day cameras and stuff, and she just looks through it or something. I mean, obviously it won't work, and it looked like there was some sort of EMP that went off that fucked everything up. But I don't want them to explain what happened. I want you to find out what happened.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
It looked a little bit like that Enslaved that came out.
Odyssey to the West. Yeah, I got that vibe. Oh,
Which
so cool.
is not a bad thing at all.
Oh, just the way that she could you could take down the thing different ways if you wanted to, because it had weak points and then she had the tethers, and the game looks so good.
Proper
It was
next gen,
beautiful.
unlike Last Guardian.
Although one thing I do want to say, she kept talking to herself and it was pissing me off so much. It's like, oh, let's go for a hunt today. Oh, gotta be careful. Oh, I'm sorry, little one. Oh God, let's attack its weak spot. What the fuck?
So let's hope that was just for the benefit of the trailer.
It had to have been.
That might have just been the sort of opening to the actual game anyway.
Yeah.
You know. But
Could have been.
If that's the opening to the game, I can't wait to
Jesus
see
Christ.
what bigger
Well,
dinosaurs
there was a
you have
robot
to face.
pterodactyl.
yeah, it was good. And then we had a sort of CGI trailer for, well, it looked like a man just running through the forest. It took me a while to work out what it was, but it was Hitman.
Oh.
CG trailer. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
I'm not really that excited about that at all.
No, they need to show us the actual game, really.
It's getting a better release. I don't see what the point really. We'll just move on from that one, I think. I don't think anyone's that fast.
Oh wait, no, we could have said, oh, you'd see more at Square Enix's press conference, except we didn't.
Yeah.
Not much anyway.
I haven't actually had a chance to check that one out.
Don't watch it.
I watched it, but I think I like fell asleep during it.
So, you know what you should do? You should check out our pod about it. Because
Oh,
it's more
wow.
interesting.
Yeah,
It is more
probably.
interesting. Although, if you are going to watch it for Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Moonhead guy, because that was fun.
Anyway, this is the Sony one.
Sorry, carry on.
And then we got the console exclusive of Street Fighter 5. Looks like Street Fighter. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah,
It
nice.
looks pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a pretty Street Fighter.
Public beta soon.
Anyone?
Could've announced something there and then. I mean, they could have had a bigger reveal than just 2 characters. I mean, why didn't they like have? It could have been like, there's a Sony character in it. That would be so cool.
Yeah, but who would you have in that?
Kratos.
The rapper.
Going against Cammy.
Yeah.
Just like she just drills into the poor rapper and he's all like, oh hell no, super combo. I don't know. I don't fighting game.
I think the last one I played was Street Fighter 2. I don't know which Street Fighter 2 I played.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got No Man's Sky.
Oh.
The hype is real.
I'll let Adam's a bit. I'll let Adam.
Yeah, go Adam.
Let's hear your.
It looks amazing. Literally millions and millions of planets to go explore. How couldn't you be excited about that? It looks really the art style in that as well, and you just get free reign to go mental. Looks brilliant. What?
But what do you do with them?
Well, I'm sure they'll explain that later.
Like,
That's a
I
good
am on
point.
I am on board with you. Like that game, phenomenal. Like when he just pulls back and he's like, "Oh, I'll go to a random planet." It's like, I can't wait to get this game. But
Yeah.
I'm like a lot of people have been saying it, and it's just been at the back of my mind. I'm like, oh, they'll show it later. The fact that they were going to announce a release date at E3 and then didn't, I'm very worried because they haven't explained what the F you doing that game? Because like you see him go to the beacon, it pulls out and then comes back in, and there's more stuff. But he didn't explain what any of that stuff was. It was like, oh, it's destructible. Oh, here are these robots protecting this planet. Didn't explain that.
Yeah, he just
And,
ran
like,
away
you know what I
from
mean?
them as well.
Yeah.
Huh.
Didn't
I get
They
it,
really
yeah.
do need to flesh that
He had
part of
3
it
minutes.
out.
He said he had 3 minutes. But
Yeah.
come
It
on,
needs its
do
own
it-
conference
context.
next time. No
Context.
Man's
I
Sky can
find-
take Square Enix's place at the next E3.
Yeah, yeah, it can.
I find the open world game, like Witcher and that, to be quite intimidating. Let alone having a whole bloody universe to run around in or fly around in.
Well, especially one that will never be fully explored, which was just.
It would take like a trillion years or something like that to explore the entire thing if you could visit one planet a second.
Wow.
Well, that's
that was
pretty,
like the number that they put out when they announced the game. Like just how massive it is to give you a kind of idea of the scale.
People's
But-
PS4s are going to fry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't look forward to that actually because that's going to be a £400 game. Having to replace my
Can't.
console.
It can't be. But
Can't be, but apparently it is.
But-
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but I need to know. Like, I'm not going to buy it day one until I know what you actually do.
And I thought there'd be
Yeah,
more
I agree with
information on
that,
the multiplayer. Because is there
Is there
multiplayer in
multiplayer in
there?
this game?
I don't know.
See, we
has.
don't know
There
that's the
was-
problem.
Some MMO type elements to it. That doesn't say anything, does it? That could
All they
just
have
be
is that the
got killer
discovery
rat.
thing. The discovery thing, which is what I thought he like. I don't think it. I don't know if can it have multiplayer. I'm pretty sure they did say it had multiplayer, but like the aspect is that I think that's what they meant by it. Is just like if you discover a planet in everyone else's game, you have discovered that planet. If you discover that planet, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
they can see
there's just a
points
check-in
of interest.
system or something.
Oh, right.
But the thing is that
Pretty cool.
it's gonna be so big, so even if you play online or offline, I don't think you're gonna notice the difference.
True. True.
But that's the exciting thing is that there is a center. There's like the one spot, and so I'm really excited. I mean, it's just tempting to see what's there, and I know it might be like really underwhelming, or it might be really awesome, but no one knows. So
But we'll need to wait and find out, unfortunately.
Does look good. Speaking of planets, Medium Molecule make us a little big planet. See what I did there?
Mhm. Yes.
They've announced their Dreams, which just looks like a bad trip to me.
Yeah,
yeah,
it did look a bit crazy.
I don't get what's going on. Is it a game? Are we just watching people's creations? What? I don't understand.
I mean, it could be a good thing, but I think it's not accessible enough for people. I think if they're getting enough people into it, because I think it could be a cool game, and does seem to have some potential, but I don't know. It's a bit
So,
tricky.
To be fair, the guy from Media Molecule that announced it in it was saying that what they really wanted to achieve was to get us to ask lots of questions, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, he's done, yeah. It was quite weird. I'm not putting it down because
Oh
it's
no,
something
it's
different.
art. That's art. You can
Yeah,
point to that and say that's art.
It's something different. I just didn't understand much from what we saw, but then they didn't have enough time to go into it. So
Yeah, look forward
But,
to seeing more of that in the future.
I trust Media Molecule like pretty hard, so I don't know. Maybe
Definitely
that's
agree
just
with
why
you
I'm
there,
so
yeah.
optimistic.
I'll have a look. Keep an eye out on that one. We had Assassin's Creed, but I'm sure we're all sick of that and those
Yeah,
accents.
we don't need to talk
talk about that.
Oh, more DLC exclusive to Sony.
This new DLC thing is starting to get the exclusive
It's
DLC.
bad. Gamers should be against it, but that's
Yeah.
just me.
It's one of those gamers are against it until it's their console that gets some
Yeah.
bonus content. It's like
But-
all the PS3 people complained about Call of Duty for so long, and now
The thing is though, with that, it's only timed. This is the giving them exclusive bits of the game, which I assume would have been in the game. They've just cut it off and said only Sony can have this, which is
Yeah.
bullshit. That is bullshit. This is why I don't like Destiny, and this is why when we get to Destiny, I'm just gonna have to be quiet because I will fucking go off on one.
That's funny because that was next on my list. I was going to do a little segue, but you've ruined it.
Speaking of
definitely
fucking
agree
shit.
that
I was going to say Destiny's been the worst one for it, but because they've announced new DLC. What was it, the Taken King? Looks like more Destiny. I quite like Destiny personally.
It's one of those that I really enjoy Destiny, but I've kind of burnt out on it the last kind of month or so. Well, The Witcher helped with that quite a bit as well. But
I think I'd have been annoyed if I got Destiny full price day one, but I didn't. So
I did.
One thing about this
And I
Destiny
got the
thing, is this a new
expansions.
game?
no, it's DLC. It's add-on.
So what I've heard from the Disney that they're planning on doing like it's kind of a MOBA, right? Or that's like how they're seeing it
MMO.
somehow.
It's not a MOBA.
MMO, I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
And
It is an
so
I was thinking
MMO,
I
but they
didn't. I
won't
didn't.
call it
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're doing like updates. So they're gonna have one major update in the first game, and then the plan is to reach the second game and then do the same thing. I think
Yeah.
that's what I've heard.
I think they could learn a lot from the people that have done No Man's Sky. I want plenty of planets to run around, not just
Yeah.
2,
Yeah, I want
3,
more of the
whatever.
planets to run around. The only thing is, if the Taken King is got this, a well-told kind of story to it, then that's the one major thing that's really been missing from Destiny so far. It's an absolutely fantastic game mechanically to play. This is why I've enjoyed it so much. But you do find yourself going, well, you've all these amazing kind of like world building that's went into it with the Traveler and all that, and what the Guardians can do, and you think, well, tell me a good story for the love of God.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's Destiny, and we'll leave it at that, shall we? And then we had, then we had Final Fantasy Junior,
Mm.
which was not called Final Fantasy Junior, but I haven't actually wrote down what it was called.
Well,
it looks
Final
like
Fantasy.
that's it. It looks like Fisher Price's My First Final Fantasy game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was very different. I don't think I'm.
I don't know. It's just, it was weird. I mean, I liked it, but I wouldn't buy it. Like,
But then again,
I mean, it is coming to VR, so
Mhm.
there is that. I might get it on VR.
I think that was the only Vita reference in the whole of the show, wasn't it?
They had a
They-
little
They had a
splash
kind of
thing.
sizzle reel of
Yeah.
a couple of games that were coming to Vita, but they didn't actually mention it. Like, no one's talked about Vita. There was a video for like 30 seconds and then it went away.
It's a bit off topic. I've had a sad moment today where I posted my Vita because I sold it.
Oh.
That was emotional. But it is dead, so there is that.
It is dead. They've basically said we're not supporting it with titles, but if other people want to, that's cool.
So,
Which is-
PlayStation Plus is supporting it well enough for me, but that's just me personally. Lots of free games.
Well, from one Final Fantasy to another, a Final Fantasy VII remake. I wasn't expecting that. For all the rumours we've heard over the years, I really didn't expect it, to be
I
honest.
wasn't expecting it until we got wind of that there was the remake, and this was my problem with the whole conference, right? Like, it was amazing. It was a really good show, but a lot of it slipped just before the conference went live.
But
And
that was the one I just thought, nah, that's rubbish.
you really, like, I don't know. Before I had thought it was a load of bollocks, but then I was going into this with the mindset of it's probably going to happen, and then after Last Guardian happened, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they're doing something special.
went-
And as soon as he
Okay.
started talking about it, I was like, yeah, it's definitely. And then, although that trailer got me so hyped,
It looked really nice. There was quite a bit of nostalgia behind that. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII for about 10 years or so. It was probably my first Final Fantasy, I think. That wasn't exclusive, was it?
it's coming first to PS4, but no, it's not coming. It's not exclusive to PS4.
The only thing I will say about that trailer is at the very end, it just sort of said remake, and I'm thinking, was that necessary? I can see it's a remake.
Yeah.
Because here's me thinking it was a new
trailer.
movie or something.
Just trailer. Yeah, just movie.
Well,
Like,
knowing Final Fantasy, everyone would have went, is that Final Fantasy 7 too?
That's true. That's true. Then you could just end it with Final Fantasy VII, and that would have got the point across.
Sorry for my ignorance, but why is everyone so excited about like? I mean, it's a remaster, or like
no,
how is
it's
it tied to 7? I don't understand that.
It's 7, but they're doing it from scratch, like Gears of War
Okay.
have done. It's just
Well,
basically that.
did they say that specific? I mean,
It
really
has to
want
be,
details
right?
again.
It has to be.
Well,
I can't see
the
that
difference
old
between
sort of-
remake and remaster is a remake is they went back and rebuilt the entire
Yeah,
thing.
true.
whereas
That
a
has to be what it
remaster
is.
I can't see them
resolution.
using the old sort of archaic methods they
No.
used. But then I've not played a newer Final Fantasy, so I don't know how they work.
I
haven't
assume it'll
played
play
any.
something like Final Fantasy. Do you know what? It'll probably play like 15.
That's not a bad thing at all. It
No,
looks quite good,
no,
that
it's
Final
not.
Fantasy 15.
It's pretty dope. I would say, however, that this is obviously very, very early, and I
Yeah.
really wish they didn't announce it this early. I wish they announced it when they had gameplay to show. But it's there, we know it's happening, and apparently the rumor is CyberConnect 2 are making it, which make the Naruto games, which are pretty good, but they're not amazing. So, I mean, nothing to worry about. They were a competent developer, but I really wish someone else was handling this.
But at
Like-
the end of the day, Final Fantasy 7 is all about the story. It's not really the gameplay, is it?
And they already have a great story.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
As long as
I
it
will
looks
cry
pretty,
again.
runs well. Let's go.
And then that wasn't the only surprise because we had Shenmue 3, which I think was the weirdest part of the whole
Yeah.
conference.
It's
Having
weird.
a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That must be the first time that they've announced a Kickstarter campaign at a conference like that.
Yeah.
It's,
Could you imagine if all the games come out and said, look, this is what we want to make, now you dip in your pockets, if that was just what E3 was? I mean, half the games wouldn't get made anyway, but...
But like the only problem I had with this was I know Ross Miller was fucking off the wall. He was so happy. He's already gone and backed it. It's already made its money. It's happening, guys. It's happening.
Yeah,
But the
all from
problem
Ross
is,
Miller.
Ross Miller backed it with $2 million he doesn't have. He might have it, but we don't know. Ross, do you have $2 million? Because I could do with a loan. No, what's it
No, I
called?
don't.
Oh, fucking lost it. Oh, hi Ross.
Wow.
You can go now. You can
no,
go now.
he's muted himself again. Never mind.
Right. I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, the problem was that Sony are apparently funding this as well, which I think is a bit shady.
So they
Just-
couldn't sum up, they couldn't find 2 million to make this
So
game.
they're asking players to do it, like fans, which it's good.
Mm.
It's a bit dodgy that they're asking. You know what I mean? Like if they're
suppose
putting
what
in
they're-
some cash.
I suppose
Yeah.
what they're doing is just proving that the demand is actually there for the game and in enough numbers to make it worth their while doing.
But with a
I
game
do
like-
agree,
yeah.
Kickstarter's not the way to do that. It's
No,
kinda
I'm not saying the
underhand tactics
Kickstarter's
of
not a
it.
bad idea. They could have announced a Kickstarter weeks ago and then announced a game on stage once it had reached its goal. I just think it was weird to come on stage and say, here's a game we want you to pay for in the middle of their
True.
conference. That's the part I find weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does strike me as kind of underhand tactics the way they went about that one. So,
Yeah, but
Kickstarter's a brilliant thing. I think it does get misused in that sense.
because
Mm.
I'm like too young to really have ever played Shenmue, but so
I'm with you, yeah.
apparently it was a very popular game, but not really that popular, more like hardcore gamer popular.
I can't say I've played it.
So
Ross, are you still around? Because it would be great to get your input on this.
yeah, because
Basically, it was originally out the Dreamcast, and the development cost for the amount of consoles you had for the Dreamcast was greater than if every single person that owned a Dreamcast bought it. So they already knew they were making a loss when they done it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
okay.
They still made a sequel, but on a much reduced budget. But then they cut all ties with Sega, didn't have a war chest anymore. But your modern age games with the money that or the weather systems, open world, and things like that are all based upon that system essentially. But anyway, I'll go back to mute before my wife kills me.
Yeah. So it kind of makes sense from a like financial standpoint to like half pay with Kickstarter and half pay for them, because it might not do like extremely well, but it will definitely like give them a big like E3 boost or whatever.
So if the Kickstarter's got them their £2 million or whatever, or $2 million that they could make the game with, if Sony's just putting in extra money to make sure it's absolutely fantastic, then I don't see a problem with that necessarily.
No.
But then I mean, I don't know many people who have played Shenmue except for Ross. So are we going to get a game that stands on its own, or is it a complete, are we going to see remasters? I think that's a game I'd need a remaster before I picked it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's. I was looking at stretch goals and there's nothing on there, so I'm a bit like, okay.
Maybe they'll find a way of weaving in the first two games' story into this one in a kind of like flashbacks or something like that, so that
I
it's,
think-
at least-
prologue.
it's explained to you at least.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
think
something to work on.
the second Shenmue, I'm pretty sure it ended with like a pretty big cliffhanger, and so that's one of the reasons why everyone wants Shenmue 3. I'm pretty sure.
And just because it's not a completed trilogy.
Yeah, maybe that too.
You know, you want a trilogy completed.
Speaking of trilogy, Uncharted 4 has now come out. It's not a trilogy.
The beginning of a new trilogy.
I'm grasping at straws here.
You can't tell.
Yeah. That game looked good, didn't it?
It looked beautiful. It's a shame the controllers died.
That was yeah. It was a very strange bit at the beginning, wasn't it? You know,
It's
I thought they were just standing there to show us the crowd.
And then you realised
that's
something was wrong.
Yeah, they broke something.
Yeah,
At least it proves that it was running live,
yeah.
console or whatever. It looks good. So I'm looking forward to the remastered trilogy so that I can catch up before that comes out.
Definitely.
Did they have a release date? Uncharted 4?
Next year.
Just next
yeah.
year, 2016, along with all the others. Yeah, it was really cinematic. That car chase was quite impressive to watch.
Oh, so cool. Like, I'm hoping you can go down the different paths. Like, that'd be so cool if you can.
I'm almost mad. I shouldn't be mad because it looks so good, and so I don't have a PS4, and that makes me sad.
Bless you, yeah.
But I don't know.
The thing with Naughty Dog is I don't think they've made a bad game. So even if they just shown Nathan Drake walking along the street, or if they just shown the crowd and that was it, people would have gone, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's buy it.
Yeah, it's got a Naughty Dog label on it, therefore it's awesome.
But yeah, it was cinematic. You sort of forget you're watching someone play it. It could have been, the whole thing could have been a CGI trailer, you know.
It
It was
could be an
great.
animated film almost.
I'd watch
An
that.
action film. Yeah. Maybe that's their next project after this.
And then we had PlayStation View, which I don't understand what that was. We probably wouldn't see it in the UK anyway, so I doubt it.
Nah. Like,
Yeah,
you
I-
can just skip over that. It's cool,
Yeah.
but nah.
I think it's because like America, they have like bullshit cable companies, and I think
Yeah.
they're just gonna screw that up a little bit.
Well, it's just a sort of streaming service, isn't it? It's they said you can pick individual channels to watch, but I mean in England we don't have that option, do we? We just
No.
we pay the TV license and watch rubbish.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't pay a TV license.
Wow. They were on my case so much, but we won't go into that.
No, my mum pays the TV license. Haha!
Wow.
Me! And when I go to uni, I just don't think I'm going to care.
When you go to uni, I might move in with your mum and she can pay my TV license.
Well, that's getting dangerously worrying, Dad.
And then we had Project Morpheus.
Oh.
This is the third VR thing we've seen. Was the second? Did we see any of
I don't know.
Valve's? I don't know if we did. Project Morpheus.
Are you counting Microsoft's AR? Because AR
I am,
and VR are
really.
different. Headset thing. Go with headset thing. 'cause
Headset
then you're
thing.
not wrong.
Yeah. Headset thing. That's the technical term for these devices. I like the way you said you can play together in a virtual world while sitting on your sofa. Yeah, I can do that on any console really. If I'm playing a 4-player game.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this time you won't be able to see what anyone else in the room is doing because you'll have Morpheus on your face. Which is just that's just asking for trouble.
did they?
That's it. If you're playing in the same room as Scott, you just wouldn't trust not being able to see what he's up to. I'd sort of take the headset off and he'd just be sat there in his pants, like, what? And in his pants is just a nicer way of saying it. But, yeah.
Cheers, babes.
No worries, no worries. Is anyone out of all the, Project Morpheus, does anyone think it's going to stand up to,
I think it could.
I forget the other one's name now.
Well,
Oculus.
Oculus Rift.
Oculus, that's the one, yeah.
I think it would it might benefit from being so closely tied to the PS4 in it. If they can price it well and give us enough reasons to actually buy it, then
Yeah.
I can see it doing better than maybe Oculus, which is kind of standing on its own without that kind of support, really. Kind of tied in.
But they did like the weird part. Okay, I don't want to talk about the Microsoft, but they said that they were like teaming up with Oculus and with Valve VR, I think. And so,
Yeah.
is it Microsoft with Valve and everyone against Morpheus? That's that's like bullying right there.
But it depends how big that collaboration is or
Yeah,
how
I
closely
suppose.
tied it is. Whereas, it being all in-house, Sony might actually help make it a more competitive and better experience overall. We'll need
I
to wait and
suppose.
see.
The thing worrying about these things is that we're not seeing any prices here. I don't know how much any of these things are going to be.
No.
No, that's the major worry, and it's trying to work out actual experiences that I think I absolutely have to have it for. A lot of it's a good extra thing.
Porn,
experience.
Adam, porn.
I mean, we all know it.
Anyway. So then we had them come on and the Star Wars music played, and I was expecting some Battlefield, but instead we got my first Star Wars by Fisher-Price, which was a Disney Infinity Star Wars game.
Yeah, 3.0.
Yeah, I mean, looked alright if I was 5, but
I don't understand how they have time to release so many Infinity games. Like, are they like compatible all with each other, or do you have to rebuy them?
I don't know. Never having played a Disney Infinity game. I mean, are they just reskins of it? I don't know.
Because they don't look so different either, but I don't know.
No, not really. They're quite cute, sort of. The figures would look alright. I think, on my mantelpiece. But if you have children, I mean, I've got a little one on the way, and she'll be forced to play these games just so I can collect them. I don't care if it's for boys or girls anyway. But then we did get Battlefront, which was quite good looking, I thought.
Yeah. I think Battlefront over the two conferences, EA and Sony, kind of finally answered the critics that it's had with some of the things, like having the hero modes in where you can just fight, Jedi versus Sith and things like that, and there is some form of kind of single player-esque kind of stuff in it that they didn't talk about before.
I don't know. They didn't really show. I mean, they show gameplay, but they didn't explain anything really. So.
Well, it's Star Wars. What needs?
It's Star Wars. So I know.
It's just shooting each other with
blasters at things.
But I mean,
and TIE fighters and blow up
Yeah.
AT-ATs. It looks fantastic, and definitely interested in picking.
Don't get me wrong.
When it comes out.
I'm totally gonna play it like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had another shooter. We had Call of Duty 3. Well, Call of Duty.
No one Call of Duty 3. What remaster? No.
I'm ready for a World War II shooter again.
Yeah, actually.
I am too.
Better than what we got.
So yeah, we've got more jumpy, shooty.
Yes.
Coined by Kevin Tarn.
To be fair, not as jumpy.
No,
You
but
don't
there's a
get
lot
as
of
high.
Is it though?
there's a lot of just like forward punching, and I was like, this is just boring. Although, admittedly, I am still interested in the multiplayer with the characters. That seems cool. It's just the single player just looks garbage.
It looks like Call of Duty. It just looks like they could have played any of the last sort of 2 or 3, and I probably wouldn't have noticed it was new footage. I'd have just been like, oh, this looks like Call of Duty.
Totally.
So I haven't played any since Modern Warfare 3 because all they've done is take the games further and further away from what I enjoyed most, which was Modern Warfare 1 and 2, where it was realistic to now. You know, the mech suits and all that just doesn't interest me. If I want to play that kind of game, there's different things that do it better, like Titanfall.
Yeah.
You know, being Titanfall isn't Call of Duty, which is why I haven't played them recently.
The biggest problem was they didn't show any of the zombies, and that's the only part of Black Ops I like.
I think they're going to show that way later. They always do. They always leave it. So,
When are we just gonna get Call of Duty's The Zombies collection? That's what I want.
Oh,
when what's it called? When
they run out
it's
of
not
money.
viable to attach it to the product, but
I think it would sell mad now.
it would, but why? Like, if they released zombies, like at a separate point in this year, or right, we'll go with the example of this. We'll say zombies comes out now, and what's it called? Then the people who want zombies won't buy the people who buy Call of Duty for zombies, i.e. me,
And me.
wouldn't buy that game
That's very true.
because without my
Yes.
zombie fix. So
Yeah,
they're cutting off a massive chunk of their audience doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've run into the problem where if they release just Call of Duty Zombies one year, they cut off all the people that don't play it, and maybe lose them to other games, and then they run into, well, if they release it as well as a regular title, a lot of people might not pick up the other one, so it doesn't really make sense to do it just now until the main franchise actually hits a kind of bomb.
I mean,
I'd love to see it.
one thing that I really love about the Call of Duty franchise is as quickly as I get hype for Call of Duty, I can just turn on my PS3, start Modern Warfare 2, and there's a lobby right there for me. I don't have to wait a second.
Nice. Right, so that's Call of Duty, guys. Oh, and one last thing. The exclusivity deal that Xbox had is now on PS4, which ain't a bad thing. I don't mind waiting a month for everyone to tell me everything about a zombie storyline and everything. It's cool. I don't mind that.
Yeah. Quite interesting that they've now taken it though. That just shows that they are sort of dominating the console market at the moment because that's all that Call of Duty, that's all they're interested in, the Activision.
Yeah, there's more consoles out there with PS4 rather than Xbox, and that's the bottom line for Activision, really, isn't it?
There's also the Sucky Sucky over Destiny. So
Yeah. So clearly that's going to continue as well.
I think that's we've covered pretty much everything from the Sony event. Anyone got any?
We missed something.
No.
What did we?
Firewatch.
We did miss Firewatch.
we did miss Firewatch.
Firewatch.
Well,
is
spotted
amazing.
Adam Thompson.
That's not even my surname.
I know.
Is it Thomas?
But
Yeah.
it is now.
Jesus Christ. Adam, why does nobody get your surname?
Because
No,
you
mine
plugged
was, to be
it-
fair,
you plugged
mine
the
wasn't
blogs
referenced
and then
to
just
the
got it completely wrong that day on the pod, and then it's just carried over, and everyone's doing it now. I might as well just change my Facebook name.
Fuck.
Anyway, back to Firewatch is one of the games that we've heard about it before, but no one really explained like why you would want to play it. But seeing it in action at the conference there has totally got me intrigued. I want to know who it was that was in the tower. If it's not the guy, I want to go find out. It looks absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
You've sort of highlighted a point. I don't think we've seen much gameplay for a lot of these games that we've just spoken about. And
Have we not?
Firewatch
I didn't
was
think
just
so.
Firewatch was entirely gameplay, was it not?
Yeah, Firewatch was
Yeah.
entirely game.
Yeah.
was it? I just thought we was just watching some guy wandering about. I thought that was a.
Oh, I'm
know.
super excited for Firewatch. I mean, it said it's coming first to PS4, which gives me hope it's coming to Xbox One. So I'll wait on that. But still,
I'll tell you all
I
about
know
it. Scott.
Lucy. Super into that. Lucy's super into that. So there you go. That's Lucy's game of the thing.
So we'll see her, the Queen of the Indies, post on outoflives.net. There you go.
So
Okay, let's wrap it up then, shall we?
yes, we shall.
But
Yeah,
I feel like there's something we're missing out. I feel like there's something. I know it is.
Well, if we missed it out, we missed it out.
I'm sure there was other little bits that they came out with that we've sort of skipped over. There was Batman DLC, but we don't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? They really shouldn't have shown that. That was so spoilery.
Yeah.
I'm
like-
confused about it because was it zombies like in Batman? Or...
No, what
No,
it
it
was
was
because it was
Scarecrow,
Scarecrow,
wasn't it?
toxin, and he's obviously
Oh.
killed all those people in that diner, which would have been amazing if you had seen it in game. But like, do you know what I mean? Like the first time in Modern Warfare 2, where you kill all those people in that airport, that's exactly what that scene could have been. But they ruined it. The game is out next Tuesday. Why
Yes,
did they show that?
Yes, but that's Sony's exclusive DLC, Scott. So you're not going to see it anyway.
Oh, is it? I missed that part. I was peeing.
Oh,
I came back to zombies. Well, never mind. I'm still angry.
Anyway, right. Well, let's get out of here. Let's go. So, thanks for joining me, Johan
Thank you very much.
and Adam Thompson,
It's good to be here.
and the surprisingly British sounding Jason Derulo.
Thank you, Jason Derulo.
Definitely better than the real one.
Good.
Seriously.
Cheers for having us on, Scott.
You're welcome.
Drop the mic.